Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. All right, y'all. It's been a few days since you all have seen the seedlings. So this whole tray is going to be eliminated on tomorrow. First of all, my spinach is starting to get its true leaves. And let me make sure I'm on what I'm supposed to. Oops, just knocked over a cup. What I'm supposed to be on. Okay, wait, I'm looking at the lens right here. I'm tapping it. Okay, so that helps me to guide. But look at those true leaves on the spinach. So those are going to go out to the table. I'm going to give that another week, I would think. And then I'll put those out on the table. Sweet banana peppers, look at them. 3 of them. And the 2 that I thought were dead, they're growing their leaves back. So that's good. And then that's the other one that came up. My red cherry tomato that I put back in there is doing good. My Aunt Molly's are doing very good. I'm a abort this cotton here. That thing's not doing anything. It's alive, but it's not growing. A pepper came up in my onions right there. So I don't know what all that's about, and I don't know what type of pepper it is. So it's going to just be put in the pepper pile. Cubanelles are doing good. Red cherry. The bananas haven't come up yet, but I'm not worried about those. I'll probably take this part, I'll cut that out to keep that part just in case those come up, because I want as many sweet banana peppers as I can get. And y'all, I'll never plant tomatoes early again. What day did I plant these tomatoes? On the 25th of February. I should have known better. Look at these tomatoes. I looked at them today. I'm like, they're getting bigger by the hour. Okay? The hour. Look at all that. A jungle. But you know what, y'all? Not yet. Not yet have I seen a fungus gnat. Not yet. So that sand works, y'all. Get the sand. Now, I saw a lady, I think her name was Grandma Homestead or something. I can't remember her name. Anyway, she was making up her seed starting mix, and she poured boiling hot water in hers. And she said that will kill off any organism that could be in the dirt that you're about to use. That was a good idea. But this sand, thus far, because it's been over a month now since I've started my plants, and usually within a month, I have fungus gnats flying everywhere. I have not seen one yet. So this sand works, and it doesn't harm the plants at all. Not at all. And I had just went to the pet store because sand costs a lot. And Home Depot sold the sand 50 by 50-pound bags, and y'all saw that film that I did. And I can't lift that. With an ostomy, you're not supposed to technically lift over 10 pounds because it can cause a hernia. So I went to the pet store, and for $1.98, I bought that hermit crab sand, and it has worked. I added it to my seed starting mix when I poured that in, and then I added a little bit to the top of each seedling when I planted them, and I haven't seen a fungus gnat yet. Even if they do end up coming later, it's better than them, it's better than getting them like within the first week or so, and then you're dealing with them for the next 2 months. So even because these plants will be going out within the next month in May. And so basically, even if I get a fungus gnat in between this time and the time they go out, it won't be horrendous like it has been in years past. But yep, them tomatoes are doing good. My peppers are beginning to take off. So when we get to the living room, I'll explain to you what I'm going to be doing as of tomorrow, actually. So let's go to the living room. Oh, and while we're doing that, let me cut this light off. Okay, and while we're doing that, I want to say welcome. Welcome, welcome. I know I've gotten about 5 new members. I can't remember all the names. Two of my new members are part of my Grow Club here in Pontiac. So welcome to y'all. And then I have some other new members, Miss Peach, and I love your channel. And y'all keep in mind, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm setting up this tripod. I'm getting ready to turn the thing around. Okay, y'all keep in mind, whenever y'all subscribe to me, I usually go right to your channel and subscribe to you. And I do watch your videos. And I try to comment on as many as I can when I see them. Yep, I try to say something, hi or something. Yep, because you guys encourage me, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now I'm here. Okay, I wrote down what I wanted to say so that I don't be so long-winded and don't be rambling and carrying on. Okay, here we go. Topic number 1, because I did say I had a lot to say today, a lot to tell you. Okay, the first thing, I did my vanilla check today because today was the day that I shake the vanilla. So I did my vanilla check. And when I did my vanilla check, I couldn't help myself because today was the day that I needed to change the wax paper that I keep right up under the lid of the vanilla. So what I did was I pulled the wax paper, off of all the ones that needed to be changed. So I got to the one, the Kirk and Sweeney, y'all. The Kirk and Sweeney, Lord. Oh, glory. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I get to the Kirk and Sweeney one. And so when I pulled the wax paper off and got that thrown away, I got the new wax paper, folded it up so I can put that on top of the Kirk and Sweeney rum vanilla. And so I noticed in the top, it was some liquid in there, that had seeped up. So I took it and I hit the bottle with that top to pour that liquid out, but it was still like a little dot left. I couldn't help myself, y'all. Stuck my finger in it, tasted it. Once again, y'all. Oh, glory. When I tell you already, and it's only been a month, it had no liquor taste. It didn't burn. It tasted like smooth, rich vanilla. I'm telling y'all, make the investment. I would not tell you something that I do not, I wouldn't steer you wrong. And not with that $50 bottle of rum, okay? No, I wouldn't dare. I can tell you right now, after 1 month, and we're talking, this is supposed to be a 2-year steep. I truly believe I used too many vanilla beans. This is probably a quintuple fold, okay? Because it tasted like some strong vanilla. I could probably use that vanilla now and get away with it. And it's only been a month. So I can only imagine what it's going to taste like in August when I do that 6-month taste test. Oh, glory. Let me stop, y'all. Oh, I'm a mess. I'm just being silly today. Okay, so anyway, I'm telling y'all, that Kirk and Sweeney, and I like the Bacardi rum too. So hey, I like that with making the vanilla. So I knew that the Kirk and Sweeney was going to be epic because that was the top shelf rum, but I had no idea that it was going to be that good. Okay, so that bottle's not making it 2 years. So like I said before, because I was saying I'm gonna buy another bottle, but I'm gonna do the 12-year, which is a lot cheaper. I think the 12-year bottle of Kirk and Sweeney, although it's still top shelf, it's only 12 years aged, whereas the one I used was aged for 24 years. So the 12-year aged is only like 20 something dollars. That is doable, especially for that size, for that size of rum. So I'm going to hurry up. As soon as I have the extra money, I'm going to hurry up and buy a 12-year bottle of the Kirk and Sweeney. I can either do 12 or 18-year. Now, if I do the 18-year, that would be $30. I'm going to do one or the other. It'll probably be the 12. And just make me another thing of the rum vanilla so that I can make the one that I have now last the 2 years, the 2 years that it has to be shelved. So, and I better, either that or I'm going to end up messing up on this. Okay, so now on to the crops. Okay, you all saw the crops because I did that little 5-minute film from outside where the cats were under my deck and all that stuff. So the crops are doing really, really well. I'm pleasantly surprised. And I guess because I never planted cold crops before, I just couldn't bring myself to believe that they would survive in this type of weather, especially here in Michigan. It's right now, other than snow itself, we don't have snow right now, but other than snow, which would be considered the worst for us, we're at the worst. It's been rainy, it's been cold, it's been damp, dreary, no sunshine, and those plants are still doing good. So I can only imagine what's going to happen once, the sun is supposed to be bright and sunny all week up until eclipse day. Poor Michiganders. I'm going to be across the border in Ohio, okay? But anyway, it's supposed to be bright and sunny all week. So those plants will probably take off at that point. Okay, now for the news. Well, before I get to that, remember I was telling you my mom's best friend, I went over to get the yarn and all that stuff. So what I did was I had this yarn and I showed y'all the other yarn. The other yarn that I showed y'all, it turned out it was so old that it was it wasn't dry rotting, but it had gotten real hard. And I knew for a fact that those particular yarns were supposed to be soft. And I guess I could have softened it because if you get hard yarn, you could always put it in some warm water with a little fabric softener in it, and it'll soften the yarn back up. But I decided to just go on and toss it because I didn't know exactly how old that yarn was. And based on the labels, that yarn looked to be over 20 years old. But I found a good batch. All of it was in plastic like this, but this batch is nice and soft. They don't even make this anymore. It's a dark blue, and it's called Holiday. It's a holiday yarn. And I was like, wow, I haven't seen this ever. And so I know that this is old because you only find red, white, and green. So I decided to take this because it's such a beautiful navy blue color. I decided to make her daughter the prayer shawl. I just can't make one for the granddaughter, but this is enough to make a prayer shawl for her daughter. So I started on this. It's thin, and it'll just be something. And I'm making it, it's going to be horizontal, but it's, this is the width of it, and I'm just going to go up. I'm going to climb with it like a ladder, and then when I border it, it'll make it wider, and it's just something she can throw around her shoulders. And I told her about it, and she's happy about it. And I actually wanted to make it into a triangle shape, but wouldn't you know, when I pulled the first skein of yarn out the bag, I saw where her mother had actually started a project with this yarn, and she had chained. You see where this is called a marker, a stitch marker. And this is what you use to mark, your spot or whatever if you're crocheting or knitting. Where you see that stitch marker, that she chained that amount. And so I marked her last stitch. And I'm going to leave this here. I already told her daughter, do not remove this marker unless you count up the stitches, then you'll know where it's at. But I told her, if you just leave it there, and you will know that your mother crocheted the chains that led up to this marker right here. And so she thought that was neat. And so she'll get this marker right with the shawl once it's complete. Now this marker, this is mine. But anyway, she'll get that one, and she will know that her mother at least started this shawl, and I'm finishing it for her. I think that's wonderful. I had my mother's other friend, the one I was telling you about, that I made a prayer shawl for at my mother's request, because it was Miss Bowie, Miss Harper, the one I'm speaking of now, and then her goddaughter, Val. Well, Miss Harper, her niece ended up, that I went to school with and knew very well from kindergarten right up until death. She passed away a few months, no, it might have been a year after my mother. I can't remember. But she crocheted also, and Miss Harper came over one day. She said, I have an Afghan that my niece Tammy started, who's my friend. She said, and she was down to the last skein of yarn to finish it. She was like, but it's not finished. I said, say no more, bring it. She brought it, and I told her, I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a marker. I did the same thing. I put a stitch marker, and she was making a huge blanket. She, no telling how long she had worked on that thing. And she only had one ball of yarn left, and she was halfway through that. It took me all of a few hours to finish it. And so I marked it where Tammy stopped, and I began. And so once I finished it, I washed it up. I softened it because that yarn had gotten hard too, but I knew it could be saved. So I washed it and softened it up with some fabric softener and called Miss Harper to come get it. And she came and got it. And she's now using the Afghan that her niece started. And I just finished it up. But I consider that an honor to be able to do something like that. I never thought that in all my years of crocheting that I would end up finishing off 2 projects of 2 people that I knew very well for their loved ones to have after their death. I think that's amazing, okay? Anyway, remember the basket I was telling you about that Miss Bowie had, and I said I might give it to my sister. In fact, that was every intention because my sister liked baskets and stuff. I do too, but you know, I could take them or leave them. Then I was like, well, I can put it, because it was so beat up, I was like, I can put it in the new greenhouse. Well, I was looking at it as I emptied it out that night, and I saw that what had it looking beat up was that Miss Bowie must have dragged it around the house. It had been drug along the floor because it's a rag basket, and it had like little pieces of rag sticking out from where it had been drugged. I got some scissors and I gave it a little haircut, and look at it. In fact, hold up, y'all. I need to turn on the light. It's getting dark. It's 7 o'clock. Hold on. Because y'all won't be able to see nothing. I closed my blind too. Okay. Make sure I'm covered now. Okay. Alrighty, now. Here's the basket. And I don't know if you remember seeing it the other day. And I've got to turn this around, so I hope I can get the camera on it good. Look what I did with it. After I cut those little scraggly scrags off the side and the bottom, the basket came back to life. And I said, this is mine. I love it. I fell in love because I said I liked the wood handles of the basket to begin with. I love those wood handles. And I was like, I could set this in the living room. It matches my rug. You know, the colors. My rug seemed to bring the colors out in the basket. I love those colors. And even my shawl and that Afghan brings out the colors. That's why I draped the pink one over the side, and then that Afghan that's at the top, I put that there because it brings out the colors in the basket. I think it looks gorgeous. And I decided, okay, that's his new home right there, here in the living room. So anyway, so that's what I did with that. So I wanted to show y'all that. Okay, back to the camera. We're at almost 20 minutes. Okay, so the third thing, now this is the good news. And that's the end of it. I ended up, okay, y'all know that for those seed trays and whatnot, y'all know that I went into the Eclipse money for that. Let me tell you, I ended up getting every cent back. It was just a blessing out of the blue. I had made someone a Quirky Q bag, and there was really no charge for it or anything, but I did ask her to get the yarn and, you know, pay the shipping and all that. And so what happened was, when she sent the yarn and stuff, she surprised me and had sent me a $50 gift card from Joanne. And she was like, just take this. She was like, and buy you up some yarn or whatever, which I did. In fact, I had to add some yarn to the bag. And then I also bought the yarn. Remember, I was telling you about to make this shawl right here. And so that's what I used most of it for. I still have some money left on it. So yesterday, she ended up sending me some money again. And I was like, no, I was like, you sent me that gift card. I was like, you didn't owe me anything. She thought she owed for it because she was basically PayPaling or whatever, Cash Apping the money for it to be shipped to her. And so I was like, no, I was like, take that back. I was like, you don't owe that. And so she said to me, I want you to have it. She was like, that's why I sent it to you. I was like, let me shut my mouth. I've learned, take a blessing when it comes to you. Obviously, she had it to give, so she gave it. So that ended up, the amount that I was sent was what covered for the seed trays when I went into that eclipse money. I was like, wow, it's been restored, because you remember I've been talking about that eclipse money all week and beyond. So anyway, I was like, well, wonderful. So I put that money back. And also when I went to the seedling, when we transferred the seedlings yesterday, I saw one of the trays, with the bigger ones. Y'all know I bought one the other day. I went and got it because I figured because of the squash and the cucumbers, those are bigger plants. When they come up big. They don't come up like regular little seedlings. They automatically. So I knew that I would need something bigger for those. And so I usually direct sow I don't direct sow cucumbers. I normally direct sow my squash, but Michigan is so topsy-turvy with the weather. I'm going to go on and start them this year. Plus my sister want me to start her some. So that's why I bought the green colored one, which is the next size up, the little 2x2 or whatever size that is. Okay, so when I saw those 2x2, and I did film that, remember when I was filming the seedlings and I ran into those burpee seed trays there? I was like, oh, somebody has some. They had two of them there, and they had their greens. It looked like turnip greens or kale or something in there. I was like, when I looked at it being in use, see, because looking at it empty, you can't really judge. And I thought, okay, these are kind of big. I can't see myself starting those seedlings in this or whatever. So I bought the one. And I was like, then I had the other two. I ended up getting 4 altogether of the 72. And I was undecided on that from the beginning because I kept saying, I don't need no more than 72 cells, but I decided I wanted an even number and all that. So there I was with the extra 2 trays. So I decided I'm going on tomorrow, and here we go with the camera again. See them hanging on the door there? They're hanging right on the door so I don't forget them. So when I go to mail off the bag, I'm going to be going back to Menards. For the 4th time. They probably gonna be like, is this lady here again? Because I've been there 4 times already, and tomorrow be the 5th. I'm going back to Menards, and I'm going to exchange those 2 seed trays for the 2 bigger ones, because after seeing the seed trays in use at the thing, I said that's going to be perfect for my peppers. And y'all know I'm on a pepper fest this year. I've got over 20 pepper plants there, and they're crowded in the cups. So by me having 3 of those trays of the 16 cell, that's going to be enough for me to put each pepper in its own cell for one of the trays. And then in the other one, it will be used for the squash and cucumbers. And I might put some green beans in that same tray. It'll be more than enough. Those 3 trays will be more than enough for the summer crops that are larger, or that will get larger from seedlings. And then that way I can eliminate the cups probably altogether, more than likely. Although, and I'm transferring those peppers that are already in the cups. Those tomatoes, I'm going to leave in the cups. Those probably are going to end up having to go into one of my bigger pots that I have outside. So I'll reserve the bigger pots for that. So, and the cost is going to be 0 because I'm exchanging those 2 trays. Actually, I'll be getting a few cents back because those bigger trays are like 50 cents less than the smaller seedling trays. So, because the smaller ones are $11.44. I think the bigger ones are like $11.09, something like that. So it's about a 35-cent difference. So I'll actually get a couple of cents back on that. So I won't have to spend any money at Menards, but I will, because I'm going to go on and get a bag of peat moss. I'm going to get a bag of peat moss, and I saw that they had the vermiculite there at Menards for only, I think it was $3.97. So I'm going to get a bag of peat moss, a bag of vermiculite, And I already have perlite. I have 3 bags of that. And so I'm going to make up my own seed starting mix. So I'll just have that sitting there because I'm not going to make up that mix until after I'm back from the eclipse trip, because that's when I'm going to get started with my seedlings for the summer. So I can make my own seed starting mix and not have to spend that money buying more at $8 a bag. I think that's too much. I might spend $8 doing what I have to do, but it's going to give me a lot more, and it'll be enough to start all of my summer plants this year. Plus, I've always wanted to try that. The other thing I'm going to do in the month of April, right at the beginning, I found some seed mats, the heated mats. I found some of them on Amazon and eBay for $12. That was the cheapest I found. And most of them were like only 13. I mean, you had some that were higher priced, the more elaborate ones. I just want a basic seed mat. Anytime those heating pads germinates my seeds, a plain heating mat will do the same. Just so I can say that my whole seed starting operation and items, tools for that is complete. I won't have to buy this stuff again unless something happens, if the part wears out, or if whatever wears out, or if I make a mistake and mess up or something like that. So that's all I need is a seed mat. So I'm going to get it. Plus the seed mats are longer, so it will be able to span the whole set of my seed trays, the new nicer seed trays on that table. So I'm going to go on and get that, since I'm only looking at $12 or $13. I think I can do that, and that'll be after the trip anyway. I'm going to order it probably Wednesday, because I get my monthly pay on Wednesday. So I'm going to go on and order it. And then by the time I'm back from the eclipse trip, they'll be here. And then JD will come get the greenhouse up. And once I start those seeds, because I'm not starting the seeds until after JD comes that weekend. He's going to come like that Saturday to get the greenhouse up, but I want to make sure that goes smoothly and that it'll be in use. Then I will get started. And I have electricity outside. I have a plug outside. So actually, if I wanted to, depending on how warm it is outside, I could probably start those seeds right outside. And if I can do that, I will. And then if I need that heat mat, that's another thing. Even at night, I can run that extension cord to the greenhouse and keep those seeds heated at night. Even if it gets cold, I won't even have to bring them in the house. So we'll see how that all works out. Okay, and that's about it, other than the eclipse. Now, I'm letting y'all know now, this is eclipse week for me, okay? So I am going into strict eclipse mode. So basically, you'll probably hear from me tomorrow. But if you don't hear from me throughout the week, I'm real busy because I'm preparing for this trip. We're going out of town and stuff. It's a lot I got to do. It'll probably become Wednesday. That's when things are going to get crazy around here. Then I'm going to be trying to get extra rest. So I may not be on. I might pop in to say hi, or if something happens or whatever, I'll pop in. But the long videos like you're seeing now, I probably won't be doing that until I'm back. Now, I will let you know, I plan on filming the eclipse. I'm going to give it where we're going to be at. We're not going to be in the 3 minutes, because we were going to go further into Ohio, but we decided not to. We're just going to go to the right soon as you get there. So basically, where we're going to be, our totality of the eclipse is going to be approximately 1 minute and 56 seconds. So you may as well say 2 minutes. Okay, everywhere else, where we were going to go, the totality was going to be like 3 minutes. But for that 1 minute, we don't have to drive another 100 miles, okay? We're only driving 55 miles to begin with to get there. It would have been like a 3-hour drive on a good day to get to the other city, which would have been Dayton. So we made a mutual decision to do Toledo and be done with it, which is 55 miles and not as far. So anyway, we're going to get the 2 minutes of totality. During those 2 minutes, I will be filming. I'm a film, for YouTube, so y'all get to see it. That is, if we have a clear day, which is in the forecast. But, anything can happen at any time, between now and next Monday. But I plan to film it for a little bit, probably a half a minute, then I'm going to drop that camera, and then I'm going to, because it's going to be spiritual for me. I already know. Then I'm going to enjoy the eclipse after that. But I will be doing a film of the eclipse because I want to put it forever on YouTube so I can watch it daily if I want to, because I know it's going to be spectacular. They say that a comet is going to be there. We're going to be able to see 4 planets. They said that this eclipse is going to appear bigger and more spectacular because it's the end of the ecliptic cycle. I've been watching all kinds of videos on this eclipse. And they said, get thee to the path of totality. That's what the scientists are saying. So that's what we're trying to do. And I've always wanted to see one. And it's once in a lifetime. And it completes my bucket list. I'm not a traveler. I don't get on planes, period. I don't like planes. I've been on a plane twice. And both times I hated it. And that was it for me. I said, never again. But anyway, so I don't travel because of that, and I just don't. So as far as bucket lists are concerned, eclipse was on it. So that's going to complete it. I said, that's going to complete my life. To tell you the truth, I ain't lying. I said, whatever happens after the eclipse, hey, I'm satisfied. I'm thanking God that it's coming. And I think it's a great gift from him. So I'm going to just soak it up. And like I said, it's going to be spiritual for me. I don't know how I'm going to react when it happens. I'm going to try not to act silly. Okay, I'm going to try to stay quiet and calm. I'll probably say wow and be in amaze, like everybody else. Of course, I'll cheer and clap when it's over with like everybody else does. Hopefully, y'all see me on TV because y'all know the news people are going to be everywhere. And they're going to be showing the great eclipse again, so y'all can watch it on TV. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling. We're at 31 minutes, 32 actually. So I'm going to get off of here, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow, actually. And may God bless you all. Please like and comment and leave me a message or whatever. Yep, I enjoy it, and I answer every message. So I will talk to you later, and may God bless you all, and happy Resurrection Day. He is risen for us believers, those of us who believe. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.